Hey everyone, it's Alyssa. Welcome back to my reading channel, and in today's video I am finally filming another reading vlog. It is May 8th and this week I have finally started reading books again. I'm slowly getting out of my reading slump, so I was going to talk about the books that I have read this week and then continue on from there and hope I feel in the mood to read enough to film a whole vlog. So I've read 5 books this year so far. 5. So I finally finished Heart Song by S.E. Wendell. This was a gargoyle romance. I finished the first book and I think I gave it 3 stars. I think I would have enjoyed it more if I read it all the way through and I didn't have like a 3-month-long slump in between reading the book. If you like monster romances, it had a pretty decent plot. It just wasn't intriguing enough at the end for me to want to continue the series. I think if I read it when I was younger, I probably would have loved it. And then there was a graphic novel that I picked up because the e-arc was sent to me on NetGalley, and this is called Our Aimless Nights, and I just read volume 1. I gave it 4 stars. It comes out June 2nd, so it comes out pretty soon. But it's definitely just a cutesy, innocent high school romance book. It's really cute. The girl main character always notices this other boy at school who's really quiet, and this boy works at the local convenience store, and she goes to the convenience store every day to talk to him and see him, and they form this relationship, but they don't talk at school, but they talk outside of school, and they ignore each other at school. So I don't know, it's really cute. It has everything that's really cute about a young adult romance, the hand grazing, the staring at each other and then looking away, and the miscommunication, that is very YA and it's very cute. So I gave it 4 stars, definitely going to continue with the series. Then I finished The Ever King by L.G. Andrews. So this was marketed as a pirate romance. I believe it's a spin-off in the same world of another series by L.J. Andrews, which I have not read. It has pirates, sirens, and Vikings in it. The girl main character is a princess in her kingdom, and they're the earth realm where she is from, and then the guy main character, he is from the water realm, and he is the Ever King. He's known for being brutal and menacing and just a terrible person. And his father was killed by the Earth Kingdom's father, so he is out for vengeance to kill basically the whole Earth Kingdom. So yeah, everything goes from there. She gets captured by him and she's basically his prisoner, and they're on this boat together, and she has to deal with being in the sea life now. It was good. I gave it 3 stars. The grammar was really weird in this book, and also the pacing was strange. It wasn't bad, I just didn't I was expecting more from it. I don't know if I'll continue with the series. I did get the second book, but I haven't decided whether I want to start the second book or not. Okay, and then lastly, I think 2 nights ago, I read volume 1 of Witch Hat Atelier. I think that's how you say that word. This is a manga or graphic novel. I think it's a manga, and it's about witches and this little girl who learns that she's a witch, and then she gets thrown into this witch school kind of. I don't know, I got the arc sent to me, so I just read it, and I gave it 3 stars, I think. What did I give it? Yeah, I gave it 3 stars. It was cute. I don't know if I'll continue on with the series though. I think I'll watch the anime, because I heard the anime is really good. I got introduced to all the characters in the first volume, so I feel like I'll enjoy watching it more than reading it. But if you like witches and magical manga, you'd probably really like this. Okay, so that's what I've read recently in the past 2 weeks. Now I'm listening to Rites of the Starling by Devney Perry. This is the second book in the Shield of Sparrows series or whatever. I am 42% into the audiobook and I'm bored. Bored. I don't really like how the story is going, because, not to spoil too much, but at the end of the first book, everybody basically gets lost from each other, and so far this entire second book has just been people going on adventures to try to connect back with each other, and that just kind of gets boring after a while when like every single chapter is them just like going through the forest trying to find the next kingdom. I'm bored. So hopefully it picks up from this point, because I really just don't care about any of the characters other than like Odessa, who's like the main character. I don't care about the new Cassia, or whatever her name is, the new girl that got introduced in this book. I just don't really care about her. Yeah, but anyway, I've been sitting outside all day today. I've been trying to get outside more, even like just sitting in the grass outside, and it was in the 70s today, so I've been sitting outside listening to my audiobook while crocheting. I made 3 flower coasters because I'm going to be in a market in June, so I'm market prepping right now. So I'm gonna make 1 more coaster for this set of flower coasters. Yeah, I've literally just been like laying out here reading and crocheting. So hey guys, it is the next day, and last night I started reading Shattered Hearts by Renee Parker because I was really in the mood for like a mafia romance, but I fear I've already read all of the like really good mafia romances out there that are like recommended often, so now I'm gonna have to try to find some more niche mafia romances. If anybody has any, please recommend them to me. I do prefer ones that are very slow burn. I don't like when there's like an instant attraction to either one of them. Like, I hate that. I want it to be like pure hatred until they slowly fall in love with each other. Like, that's what I want. So if anybody has any recommendations for that, like, please let me know, because all of these ones that people have been recommending me are just too insta-love. Like, literally, before I picked up this one, I picked up another one before it, and they were talking about their attraction for each other within page 4. Page 4! Basically a prologue. Like, I was like, okay, no, I'm done. And then I picked up this one. So I haven't read too much of it because I fell asleep after I started it last night, but this is about a main character who is a mafia princess. Like, her family's already in the mafia, but she is kind of straying away from that life, and she's kind of living this life on her own. But she has a twin sister, and her twin sister is getting married, and she's getting married to the main character's longtime crush, who is in another mafia family. Well, the day of their wedding, her sister disappears, so main character has to impersonate her sister on the wedding day and marry him instead of her, and then they have to figure out like what happened to her sister. So I just got to the part where her dad was like, "You're gonna impersonate her in the wedding," and she's like, the hell I'm not. Like, what? She's like, "I didn't even want to be here anyway," but she's being forced to marry this guy. So that's the point that I got to last night before I fell asleep. I have a really exciting package. So I have been watching so many blind date with a book unboxings. I don't know, I just went down that rabbit hole of like lucky scoops and blind date with books and just like mystery bags and stuff. Like, I went down that rabbit hole on TikTok, and I found a seller on TikTok that seemed to have a really decently priced blind date with a book and blanket duo. So this video is going to kind of turn into me trying blind date with the books that I get off of like TikTok and seeing if I like them and if they're worth the money. So this is what the package looks like. It came within a week of me ordering it, which is great. And as you can see, there is a lot of cushion because it is a blanket as well. I love blankets. I have way too many of them. My dogs are currently surrounded by 5 of them just in their playpen alone. So did I need another blanket? No, I didn't, but I need some serotonin, okay? So I got this off of TikTok Shop from the seller Raven's Daydream, and this is the Raven's Daydream book and blanket set. It is a 60 by 80 inch ultra soft fleece blanket with handmade bookmark, tea bags, hot chocolate, cozy night, soft blankets, fleece throw blankets is the description. You can pick between, right now you can pick between thriller, horror, surprise me, or dark romance, and I'm pretty sure I chose horror because I'm trying to read more horror books because I really enjoy them, but I just don't typically go out of my way to choose them, so I wanted somebody to choose one for me. I chose horror, 1 hot chocolate bag, and chocolate instead of like a fruity snack. It was $46. I had a $6 off coupon, and then with shipping and taxes, I spent $53.86 on this blind date package. And I felt like because it has a blanket in it, like that's already worth half the price. So I guess we'll just see like what the book is and everything to see if we think it's worth $53, because it was kind of hard to spend that, I'm not gonna lie. Okay guys, here is the blanket. I'm already loving it. Oh my god. Oh my god, that's so cute. And everything is wrapped inside. So let's open it up. Okay, here's what we have at the top. So we have a chocolate frog, and I believe that these are homemade chocolates that she makes. I'm not 100% certain, but I'm pretty sure it is. It's like fudge chocolate. So we have a chocolate frog, very Harry Potter coated. We have the thank you for your purchase. I hope you love it as much as I love creating it for you. And then here is their information. If you'd like to pause it and save it for yourself, I will link it down below. We have a packet of milk chocolate hot chocolates, so that means I need to make this while I'm reading the book. And then we have the blind date with the book. So we have this cute little like wax crest here. It has a raven on it. And then we have a raven sticker. We have a ghost holding a drink, and we have like this tarot card scenery looking sticker. Very pretty. And then we also have a fabric bookmark, which I actually have never owned a bookmark just made out of fabric like this. So it's double-sided. This side is sparkly with like bats on it. So pretty. These are spiders, not bats. On camera it looks like bats, but they're spiders. I'm also filming for TikTok, so I made it like widescreen so you can like see what's going on while I also film on my other phone. So, okay, let's go ahead and see what's inside. Oh, okay. This is actually an author that I have read before. This is Joe Hill, which is Stephen King's son. So this is heart-shaped box. It says sooner or later the dead catch up. It says the main character is an aging death metal rock legend, and he is a collector of weird things, and he collects something that is more than it seems. This sounds really good. I have never read this before. I've only read a couple of Joe Hill books, so I'm really excited to read this. I am happy with my pick and my purchase in general. Joe Hill is Stephen King's son. So I have read In the Tall Grass by him, and I liked it. I liked the movie too. He actually looks just like Stephen King. It's actually crazy. Look at that. But it says it's about a metal rock singer who collects creepy things, and he gets something that is like more than it seems, and it starts like ruining his life. So that sounds really interesting. So I'm going to be reading this after I finish my Mafia book. I'm going to use my new bookmark that I got, and we'll see if I like it. Okay, it's later in the afternoon, and I have like this little wall stick-on like side table type thing that holds my e-readers and my remote and stuff up here on my bed because I have a loft bed. And this is my first time using this to film, and I fear I have found my perfect filming spot. I wish my starlights were in the background, like that would make it like peak. Like I could, if I had something here I could do this little moment, but this is perfect because I also have my lamp right there. So it just gives off such a nice light. Anyway, y'all don't care. I have been reading all afternoon, and it is currently 9:30 p.m. I am tuckered in for the night in bed. Before I started the Joe Hill book, I did want to finish the Mafia romance that I started because I didn't want to like stop in the middle of the book. I am 31% into the book. This is a second chance romance, which I do really like. I don't think I've read a second chance romance as a Mafia romance. So, you know, we learn that she basically has to take place, her sister's place, and then they're trying to figure out like where her sister went. Apparently, main guy character, he was married before. He's had a wife. He's been in love. That's a first. I have not read one where the mafia boss has already been married and lost a wife before, someone that he genuinely cared about. So that's interesting. But he has an ex-wife. She died because she's married to him, okay? And we learn about like her backstory and stuff too. Very sad. Well, before he got married, female main character, as they were growing up, she like kissed him. And then in the middle of their kiss, he was like, no, no, no. Like, I do not want to be kissing you. So ever since then, the female main character, like, she had such a big crush on him growing up, but then after that, she was like, oh, he hates me. And now she has basically despised him this entire time because, like, he rejected her at her feelings. But yeah, now that they're stuck in this, like, fake marriage for a little while, but yeah, now that she's, like, fake married to him, she has to now kind of face all of those internal struggles of how she feels about him. So yeah, I mean, there obviously is attraction between both of them because, like, they both get really wound up being near each other. So I would say it is slow burn so far. It's written really well and I'm enjoying it so far, but I still have 3.5 hours left of the book, so who knows what's gonna happen. But I'm gonna read this the rest of the night because it is good. But also, I have my chocolate frog that I got from my blind box earlier. It says Confection Curiosities is the brand of the chocolate. I don't know if that's her brand or if you can buy that somewhere, I don't know. But I'm gonna try this chocolate frog. Oh my god, it smells like a Reese's. I fear I'm gonna love this. Okay, here's my little chocolate frog. I'm gonna eat his head. Oh my god, it's chocolate and peanut butter. That is thick, but really good. Oh my god. Okay guys, it is May 17th and I DNF'd the Mafia romance at 70%. It was Shattered Hearts, this one right there by Renee Parker. The romance was just too quick and I just didn't really feel any chemistry between any of the characters. I didn't feel any depth with any of the characters. I just was not interested in like what was going on at all. Like, just nobody was interesting to me, so I was like forcing myself to continue reading it, so I just DNF'd it. I'm considering it a read because I read 70% of it. Like, I have an hour left in the book, so I read most of it, but I literally don't even care what happens at the end, so I don't even care enough to like even go to the end of the book to figure it out. So DNF'd that. So there's another book that I've read this year that I don't like. But now we're gonna move on to the blind date with a book because this is what I've been in the mood for. I'm in the mood for a horror, thriller, mystery. That's what I'm in the mood for. So we've got the heart-shaped box, and yeah, I haven't read a physical book in quite a while. I always read on my Kindle or Kobo, and the words in this book are really tiny. So yeah, hopefully I can get into this, and if I really like this book and I end up keeping it, I'm gonna put the stickers inside of it, like stick it to the inside of it, just for like memories, but not right now, because if I don't like the book, I'm going to put it in like a free little library or something. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, as you can see by how dark it has gotten now, I am already on chapter 8, and it's pretty good so far, and I'm getting kind of spooked because it's getting dark outside, and I live in the woods. But so basically the main character is an old metal singer, like famous metal singer. So he is like retired from his band and he collects like weird memorabilia and stuff like that. So he gets an email basically saying that there was like a ghost for sale, and it was a lady who posted that her stepfather was like haunting this suit and she wanted to sell him because like he was haunting her. So he buys the suit, it gets shipped to him, and now there is a ghost in his house. And he saw the ghost once, and he keeps mentioning the fact that he knows he can't look the ghost in the eyes. And then also when he was haunting the other house, there was a little kid saying that like he has eyes that are scribbles. So I don't know what that means, but basically the lady that sold him the suit, she had ulterior motives and she knew that he would buy it specifically. So yeah, I just got done with that where he like figured out who the ghost is, and he was basically, his life has been threatened, and basically she said that the ghost is going to kill him at the end of the day and he's like cursed. So I don't know what's gonna happen because like there's so much like so much book left that like a lot has already kind of happened, but I like that it started very quickly because like I got right into the story. So I'm just gonna keep reading until I don't feel like it anymore.
Hey guys, hopefully you can hear me okay. My fan is on because I have to have it on to go to sleep. But I haven't really done much more reading since I read the beginning of this book. I got sick. I am sick. Luckily it's been like a pretty quick like cold. It hit me really, really bad the first day. I feel better today and I'm going back to work tomorrow, but a lot of congestion and like just coughing. I had a little fever, like it was weird. So I kind of laid in bed like all day today, and honestly I could have read, but I didn't. But I did do something kind of reading related. I picked up my iPad and worked on my reading journal. So last year I did a physical reading journal. The year before that I did my iPad. And I think this year I'm just going to do my iPad because since I moved back home, I don't have a lot of room to do crafts. So it'll be easier for me to do a digital reading journal this year, and then hopefully when I move out next year, if I do, hopefully, I'll do physical again. But I found one on Goodnotes that I really liked, so I wanted to show you guys that, and I'll link it down below. It's a pretty good one, but it's like the journal, of course. Sorry if it's kind of hard to see, I don't know, there's a weird glare, but it's all hyperlinked. So here is the library, and then I click the first, and these are the books that I've read this year so far, and then you can click the book and then it goes to your review. So yeah, I just did like a summary from Google, and then I've been doing the like handwriting to text thing to make it look a little bit more like aesthetically pleasing. But yeah, I did it for every book today, so that is what I spent like hours doing today, and it was honestly kind of fun just to lay in bed and journal like this. So this is what I'm going to be journaling with this year, and then I'll do physical next year, but I'll link this one down below. It was pretty affordable on Etsy. But yeah, I did that today, and then I've been wanting to pick this up, but it's already like kind of spooking me out a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. Like the way it ended with him seeing the spirit like sitting in the chair just watching him, like that freaked me out. And it's like nighttime, you know, I've got like hella dolls, and like I have creepy dolls and stuff too, so reading at night's kind of creepy sometimes, and I also live in the middle of the woods, so reading horror books is actually, like, I love reading them, but they do actually freak me out a lot. So I'm gonna try to read some tonight, but I got sent an arc for this manga called Whoever You Are, I Love You, and I requested it because the cover looks stunning, and it reminds me of like a 90s manga. So it's only 165 pages, and I absolutely have no idea what it's about. I didn't even read the summary. I literally just judged the book by its cover, so I am going to read that and see if I like it, and I'll let you guys know if I do. Okay, I just finished volume 1 of Whoever You Are, I Love You, and it's pretty good. I give it 4 out of 5 stars. It's like a mystery thriller, definitely gonna be a romance of some sorts. So basically the main character, she's dating this guy that she met, and this guy owes somebody a lot of money, so he asks her to go back on the dating apps to find a man and finesse him for money to give the money to him, and then once he has all the money that he owes to these people, then he will finally marry her. And she's like so in love with him, she's like, okay, I'll do it. She's at work and she meets this guy who basically tells her that her boyfriend is like a serial killer, and he's like stealing money and killing people, and that she needs to like help him figure out who killed his brother. And she's like, my boyfriend would never do that, but she's coming to the realization that he probably did do that. So now she's like working undercover against her boyfriend with this other guy to try and figure out how or why he killed this other guy's brother. Yeah, it's kind of like, I had kind of some anxiety while reading it because she has to like sneak around and he's really scary and he keeps threatening to like kill her dad and stuff, and he's really creepy. So it says volume 2 comes out in September, so now I have to wait till September to keep reading it because it ended kind of crazy. So that was pretty good. I wish it was longer, but it's how it is with these mangas. So okay, I told myself to get to page 100 and I did. I went to chapter 16 and I'm scared, so I'm gonna stop reading because it's 2 in the morning and I'm freaked out because this book is spooky and scary. So it's been a week, or probably 2 weeks, since I last updated you on my blind date with a book. I did read some more. I'm almost done with the book. I have like a quarter left. I'm on chapter 35 and it's gotten really good. I really like how this book just really dove into the story like immediately, but it still keeps going and it's still really interesting. So we're getting to the point where the main character has kind of figured out how to protect himself from this ghost trying to kill him. And I'm not going to say how, but now him and his girlfriend have another plan to try to like banish the ghost before the ghost finally like kills them, because this ghost gets in their head and tells them what to do and they go crazy and then they like kill each other, they kill themselves. It's like crazy. But the main character has an idea of what they can do to try to stop this ghost. And that includes like Ouija boards and like talking to the dead. Like it's really interesting. I really like the way that it's written. It's definitely like a 4-star read, not a 5-star, but definitely 4-star. It's really good. So I'm going to try to finish this book today. I also am almost done with Rights of the Starling. I am 82%. So Rights of the Starling has gotten like really boring for me. So my boss, who has already read the book, she spoiled it for me so I could like keep going. There wasn't like a lot really happening in this book. So my boss spoiled the end for me. So now as I'm listening to it, everything's like clicking into place, which if I just would have waited a couple of chapters, it would have been told to me anyway what like the big twist is at the end. I'm about to go dye my roots. As you can see, they're really bad. So I'm about to go bleach my roots. And while I do that, I am going to try and finish Rights of the Starling and listen to this audiobook. And then the next 24 hours, I'm literally just going to read. So we've got Blind Date with a Book 24-hour readathon right now. It is 12:30 p.m. and I'm going to start. So I'm going to go in there, bleach my hair, try to finish Rights of the Starling. My dad just went to Walmart and I gave him money and I said, pick whatever book you want me to read at Walmart. Here's the money. And he's just going to pick whatever book. I told him he could film himself picking if he wanted to. I don't know if he will. He is going to pick my next blind date with a book for me to read. And then I'm also going to get my boyfriend to pick a blind date with a book too. I don't know if that'll be in this video, but it'll be somewhere. So we've got the next blind date with a book lined up. Hopefully my dad doesn't pick a book I've already read. Even though most of the books at Walmart, like, I don't think I've read because they're, like, popular TikTok books. But I'm probably going to get him to send me a picture of the book that he picked before he buys it, just to make sure that he doesn't buy one that I've already read. But let's go ahead and bleach my hair. I'm going to show you guys the book my dad picked. Alright, it's 3 o'clock and at 2:30 I finished Rights of the Starling. So it took me about 2 hours to dye my hair, eat, and listen to the book. So I give it 3 out of 5 stars. I did feel like this book really dragged on, but the last couple chapters really do bring everything together from the book. So if you can get through the repetitiveness and all of the info dumping and like learning the backstory of like the entire world and all of the characters, once you get to the end, it really all makes sense. And that's what makes the book like so much better, is you have to finish it. So I did give it 3 stars just because it just felt very repetitive and it dragged on a lot. But Devney Perry, in my opinion, is a great writer.
There are some things that I don't like about like what she chose to do with some of the characters, but at the end, like at the end of the day, I do think that she's a great author. So yeah, can't wait till the next book. Hopefully everything wraps up really well, because I think it's gonna be a trilogy. I don't remember, but I did like it. So I'm happy to have finally finished that because I was reading it for like over a month. I'm going to finish Heart-Shaped Box. Like I said, I am like a quarter of the way done. I don't have too many pages left. This is a pretty quick read so far. And then my dad just got back from Walmart, and here is the clip of the book that he chose. Okay, so we're back home, and here is the book that he chose. So this is Taurus Season by Bryn Weaver. I actually had no interest in reading this because I did read Butcher and Blackbird and the second book, Leather and Lark, I think is what it was called, and I didn't really like them. Her writing style was very TikTok coded, and I don't know, I just didn't like love it. I only heard about this series like last week, so I think he chose it because it had like the cool sprayed edges. It has like body parts and like a machete and stuff, and I think like one look at this you'd probably be like, oh, Alyssa would probably like this if you know, don't know me super deeply. So he also said he picked it because it was a part of the Walmart book club, so that was his reasons for choosing this, because it looked cool, it sounded interesting, and it was a part of a Walmart book club. So this is the next physical book I am going to read after this one, and I was going to go ahead. So I was actually going to read this next because it just came out a couple of days ago. I pre-ordered it, it was delivered. You guys know I'm like literally obsessed with Lauren Kate, and she is like literally everything to me. So when she announced that she was releasing another Fallen Angel story, I pre-ordered it very quickly. So I was gonna read this next, but I don't know, like this is a pretty hefty book. So I hope I enjoy it, because if not, it's gonna take me forever to try to get through this, because I really do want to read this, but this is also a big book. So I don't know. We'll see what I'm feeling, but I'm going to probably try to get through this before I start White Lights, because I want to do the whole blind date thing. But yeah, I wanted to show you guys this because the Fallen Angel like gold feathers, and also here's the inside of it, and here is like the regular book. It has like a castle with like lightning. It looks like a school, so it might be kind of like similar to the Fallen series story with like the school. I don't know. I honestly didn't even read much about this. I want to go into this like completely blind, and hopefully I enjoy it. I want to sit outside and read, but it's 100 degrees outside. So I don't know, I might sit out there in the shade on my porch and like see if I can deal with the heat, but I probably won't be able to because it's like really hot out there. But I don't want to lay in bed and read, because when I lay in bed, my brain goes time to sleep, and then I fall asleep every time. But I don't have any comfy space in my house that I would be by myself where I can read, because I don't want to sit in the living room, and I don't want to sit in my computer chair and read because that's not comfortable. So my only other option is outside or on my bed. So okay, it is 4:40 and I just finished Heart-Shaped Box by Joe Hill. I definitely give it 4 out of 5 stars. It was really like action-packed, spooky, interesting, good characters. Like the main character, he's very like, he's not a good person, for sure. Actually, most of the characters are not good people in this book. I do have to say there is a trigger warning for animal death in like a pretty brutal way, which is one of the things that I actually don't like reading about in books. So if an animal getting murdered in a book is something that you really don't like, then I don't recommend reading this. But I really liked it. It was like spooky but not too scary, where like I was like super scared, but I could like still read it. So yeah, my first blind date with the book was a success. Haven't really rated many books 4 stars this year, so I'm glad. And now I'm going to start tourist season, which this is a pretty thick book. It's actually like the same amount of pages as this one. Let's do it. So it is 9 p.m. We have a change in scenery because I want to lay in bed now. So I am now on page 113 of tourist season, and I'm enjoying it more than Butcher and Blackbird, but it's basically just a copy paste of Butcher and Blackbird. Like, it's like a slightly different like scenario, but it's like the same copy paste main characters, same like witty humor between them, and same serial killer aspect. Like it's like the same thing. I guess if it's not broke, don't fix it. Keep making the same books if it's making you money. But I'm liking it more than Butcher and Blackbird, but it's literally the same thing. So I'm gonna keep reading it for the rest of the night. I got more hooked into it than I thought I would. Okay guys, it is 1:40 in the morning and I just finished tourist season. So I gave it 3.75 stars out of 5. I actually really liked it. I wasn't ever planning on picking up this series at all. So the fact that I read it blindly, enjoyed it enough to read the second book is kind of crazy. It's definitely, like I said before, copy paste of Butcher and Blackbird. They even reference Sloane and Ronan, whatever the hell his name was. They even reference them in this book. A lot of the reviews on Goodreads are saying that they prefer Butcher and Blackbird, but I actually like this more. And it could just be because I read it all in one sitting. And when I read books in one sitting, I do typically enjoy them more because like I'm getting all of the information at one time instead of taking breaks. So that could be why. But I went to go order the second paperback on Amazon and they only have the hardcover. And I don't want to have a paperback and a hardcover as the second. So I might just read it on my Kindle, but I'm going to pick up the second one because this does end on a cliffhanger, which is annoying. I'm going to go to bed and I'm going to try to read some more in the morning before the 24 hours are up. Alright guys, it is the next morning, 8:45 in the morning. And the next thing I'm going to pick up and read is a graphic novel because that's what I feel like I have time to read till it hits 12:30 again. This is Clara and the Devil by Olivia Blake. This was sent to me by the publisher, which is very kind of them. I got an ARC for this. This came out in May, but I was sent this like 6 months ago. So thank you to the publisher for sending it to me. I just never read it. So the art style looks stunning and I'm excited to read it. So it took me about an hour to finish Clara and the Devil. I gave this 3.75 out of 5 stars and I really love the art style. Like, it is so stunningly beautiful. Like, I just caught myself sitting there like just staring at the art because I loved it so much. I definitely have a new favorite artist. The artist is Little Chumera. Hopefully I said that right. Or Chumra. I don't know how to say it, but definitely a new favorite artist. Very, very beautiful. I do think the writing was a bit dull and repetitive, but I have a really hard time connecting with Olivia Blake's writing. I've always had trouble connecting with her writing. That's why I haven't really read any of her books. So I was surprised when they sent me this because I've never had really good reviews of her books, but I did really like this. I liked the characters. Basically, the devil comes into town and the main character is a librarian. And the first thing he sees is her and he's like, "Can I have a library card?" And he basically starts like possessing her and seducing her. Starts seducing her friend. And then all of a sudden they become like super obsessed and enamored with the devil. And that's basically like how the first volume goes. It's just like being introduced to everything and like the feelings that the main characters are feeling with their life and everything. So yeah, I liked it. Definitely will pick up the second one. The art style,
beautiful. But let's do a little recap of what I've read in the past 24 hours. So I finished 4 books. So first I finished the audiobook for Rights of the Starling, gave it 3 stars out of 5, I think. Then we have Heart Shaped Box. I gave this 4 out of 5. Forest Season was 3.75 out of 5. And Clara and the Devil was also 3.75 out of 5. So I think these past 24 hours I did pretty good at finding some books that I enjoyed. I didn't hate any of these. I actually enjoyed all of these. And 2 of them were books that I didn't even pick for myself. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this blind date with the book 24-hour readathon. If you want to see another one, let me know, because my boyfriend and my sister both want to pick my next read. And I also want to read White Lights by Lauren Kate. And I'm going to make that like a whole separate vlog because I just love her. If you want to see those, let me know down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!